Why the hell am I fitting this skirting board using expanding foam, I hear you ask? Well, that is a very good question, and it is one I will answer in this video. It is an unusual thing to do, but there are good reasons for it, and I will explain all. I did ask the plasterers not to plaster too low down on the wall, but I didn't realise they were going to go higher than the height of the skirting board that needed to go back on, which, as you can see in this image, is a real problem for us. The ridiculous plastering is only one of the reasons why we needed to use expanding foam, however. The other reason, as you can see here, there is a cavity on the wall behind the skirting board, which means fixing the skirting board to the actual wall itself was very, very difficult to do. To give a quick explanation, this wall was struggling with rising damp issues, so we didn't want to fill that cavity up because it was going to cause a bridge for that rising damp to move up the wall. So this is why we used the expanding foam. This video is going to show you exactly what we did and how we did it. The first step, as with any job, is preparation. So removing the old nails and screws from the skirting board that needs to go back on, we are reusing the original skirting board. I also remove a lot of the old loose adhesive and a lot of the cork from the top of the skirting board as well, just to neaten it up, ready for prep work later. The skirting board then goes roughly in position, and I put some pencil marks on the skirting board in areas where I feel I can actually get some screws into the wall. Then a little bit of work countersinking and pilot holing the areas where the screws are going to go in, which you can see me doing now. Swap from a wood drill bit to a masonry drill bit of the same size, so I can get through the pre-drilled holes with it. Then we screw straight through the pre-drilled holes into the wall behind to mark up where the wall plugs are going to go for the skirting board. Finish drilling the holes, ready for some standard 6mm plugs in this case to go in. We do also, on this occasion, use a sealant in the holes as well, just because this is a tanked wall, we've waterproofed it, so we don't want these holes that the plugs are going into to be a weak point in that tanking. I just carry on and get it done all the way to the other end. Now it's time to put some screws in. The trick with this, however, is we are not pulling these screws tight all the way to the wall. We're not fitting this skirting board tight to whatever bit of wall we can actually get it tight to. We are just using the screws to put the skirting board in the correct position according to where that plaster, how deep the plaster is on the wall. So there is going to be a cavity behind the skirting board. The screws are only there to hold the skirting board in position when we put the expanding foam in, so the expanding foam doesn't push the skirting board away from the wall where we want it. So that's the purpose of the screws. Now the skirting board is exactly where we want it and held in position. It is the exciting part. Time for expanding foam. It looks real messy at this point. It is setting, but the trick is to get the expanding foam before it fully sets, and then you can work with it and you can really push it into the positions you want it to be in. So I'm pulling off the excess now, and I'm going to squish the excess right into that gap between the skirting board and where the plaster finishes above it. So that's going to give us a really good surface to then fill over the top of that with like easy fill we will use. And we'll show you how to do just that very shortly. So here we go. Every decorator's favourite filler, Easy Fill. Easy Fill 60 by Gyprop. Really is as simple as any other filler. Just put it in a bucket, add some water, mix it up, and it's ready to go. The great thing with the expanding foam is once it is set fully properly, then you can use a filler over it. It does set in a way where filling over it is not going to cause any problems whatsoever, and it means you can get that real nice perfect finish between the plaster and the skirting board that we was aiming for in the first place. So it just gives us that really good surface to fill over, like you can see me doing now. We're at the point now where my work has finished and my decorators have taken over. They have obviously sanded the original filler that I put on, and they've put another coat of filler over the top of that, and also sanded that, as well as doing a bit of prep work on the skirting boards themselves and putting some paint on the walls and a bit of primer. Then, as you can see, we're on to the final product to put all the coats of paint on, finish doing the prep work, and this is how it looks. A big change from what we first saw when we first started looking at this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video today, and perhaps if you've got your own tricky skirting board to install, maybe this will help you.